Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello to you and welcome back to the channel, where this evening you join me with BMW at the 2018 24 Hours of Le Mans, where the covers have just come off the new 8 Series. This car is the M850i xDrive Coupe, and we can take a first look, explore the car on the exterior and also at the interior too. The new edition, the revival of the legendary 8 in their lineup. This is the new 8 Series Coupe. Let's get started and take a look around. Presented here then for the first time, the prototype camouflage has been removed and we can take a full look at the brand new 8 Series. They've unveiled it with this M850i and also with the 840D versions of the Coupe, but they've chosen to present the car right here, sitting alongside on display the M8 GTE, the car that's taking part in the 24-hour race, and we can have a look at this shortly. But basically this car, the future M8 Coupe and the M850i have all been developed concurrently. So let's take a quick walk around before we dive into things in more detail. But you can take in the sharpness of the lines, the sporty characteristics, and when I went for a pre-drive with BMW to experience it in its camouflage but actually drive the car, that was very much the key emphasis, that this is a sports car. Although it's platform sharing with the 7 Series, it's designed to be a sports car mixed with luxury, and we'll see more of that on the inside shortly. But just looking around it, the sharpness of the creases in the bodywork, the horizontal lines around the rear, the new slim tail lights and headlights at the front, new exhaust down at the back as well. This car's wearing the carbon package to complement the sunset orange paintwork, which under the night lights is looking fantastic. But the 8 Series is a revival of a very important number for BMW. Legends like the Z8, the iconic roadster, and of course from 1989 to 1999, almost 20 years ago, the previous 8 Series Coupe was the luxury technology tour de force in their lineup. Now this car incorporates a whole host of technology elements that we'll experience in a moment and discover as we take a look around it in more detail. But we can talk about the design, the aero, the styling, and some of the features that have gone into making this. But it's a very significant car. We've seen teasers of it. Like I said, I went for the pre-drive earlier this year and got an opportunity to stretch the legs and test out the xDrive, the 8-speed auto, and experience the engine in this car. We'll check that out, but it's got a 4.4-litre TwinPower Turbo V8, 530 horsepower, and one of the headline numbers behind that is 0 to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.7 seconds, which is incredibly fast for a car of this ilk, for this style, for this category, for this market segment. So we've also had a teaser of a concept for the Grand Coupe, and maybe that will come in future with an extended rear doors as well, turning it into a 5-door coupe as opposed to the 3-door that we have here. Seats, 2+2 configuration seats available in the rear. This car has the carbon roof, which is a very, very nice option. But let me run into more detail now about the design. So let's start at the nose, work our way around the sides towards the rear to run over the design and styling cues that make up the new 8 Series. And where better to begin than right here with BMW's signature dual kidney grills, wearing the new design language on the 8 Series. So the two sides of the grille connected in the center, one single large piece, but also the actual shape of it. It's more aggressive, the sharper edges, the 3D shapes to the vertical slats, the lovely sound we just heard starting up of an M5 as well in the background. But the grille itself sits lower at the front. It's sharper, it gives the car more presence, it's more prominent. Either side of the grille, it's flanked by the headlights. All LED headlights are standard with the option to upgrade to BMW's laser light. Very trick technology, but the lights themselves are the slimmest, most narrow headlights they've installed, heading around the corners just to enhance again the width of the car at the very front. You can imagine it coming behind. It has a presence to it whenever it arrives. If we continue down towards the bottom, you'll see the large openings, airflow through the car, of course, openings in the lower apron, and down here at the very bottom we have a new splitter, so to hold the car down on the ground to prevent lift when you're driving at speed. Of course, this is a high performance vehicle. We've also got the sensor there for the radar, for the various different technology elements that brings with it. If we continue around the car, you've got the contours on the bonnet, the sportiness again and the sharpness of those. On the sides, well, you've got the 20-inch wheels with the M brakes as well, but if you look here, you'll see the two character lines that run out of that front vent, both upper and lower, just sharpening up the shape, working in combination with the swooping roofline that you have too, and down at the bottom some pretty sharp side skirts as well, but all of these lines that we couldn't really see in the prototypes before that carry out and work very well in the car that's in front of us, where we continue towards the back and find these muscular arches over the rear end of the car. Just again, sportiness, that's the word of the day. They're positioning this car as a sports car. So at the back you've got the carbon lip spoiler back here. The M850i always has a spoiler at the very back. The 840D won't per se. The carbon package upgrade option along with the other components around the car. Beneath that you have the long horizontal lines I mentioned, running the full width from the tail lights at the top of the boot line there, but also wrapping around the car beneath that, just sharpening it up, making it look a little bit wider. Wide and low are the signature characteristics of Sporty. If we continue down to the back, V8, of course, the launch of the 8 Series here. We've got the carbon fibre diffuser with the trapezoid exhaust that you can see the dual pipes inside that as well, and the openings at the side. Again, just a lot of lines that make the car have a very sharp appearance when you're actually looking at it like this. In terms of the powertrain, it's the xDrive system, so 4-wheel drive, except in the M850i's case, all power is to the rear by default, with it being distributed as required. This car has a 4.4 litre TwinPower turbocharged V8. It makes 530 horsepower or 521 brake horsepower, 750 Newton meters. This thing will get to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.7 seconds. It's hard to imagine what the M8 is going to do even quicker than that in due course, and on to a limited top speed of 155 miles per hour or 250 kilometers per hour. There's also, like I mentioned, the 840D variant, the 6-cylinder inline turbocharged diesel engine that makes 320 horsepower along with 680 Newton meters. So even in the diesel version, 0 to 100 Ks, 62 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds. Even that is a very, very quick car, and onto the same top limited speed. The engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, but let's come and check out the interior. In here then, we are greeted with an interior that I couldn't see at the pre-drive. It was all covered up beforehand, but we can take a look around and see some of the materials and the way it's done, including the new live cockpit in all its glory. Have a look at that. I can even jump in a moment and actually start it up so we can hear how it sounds. So the car has new seats, the M Touch that you can see there, that's very nice. It's kind of an M Light, the M850i, with a lot of work from BMW M, just to make it a proper sports car, which really is the word that is being used in every way to do with this. I like the side sills that you have here, the illuminated side sills, but the all black interior on this car, obviously the smart configuration along with the sunset orange of the paintwork. But let's step in just to take a look at the interior of this. The M Sport steering wheel, the paddles of course for the 8-speed automatic gearbox, the controls that you have around, a new display here, 12.3-inch display with BMW's latest system, all the tech like your gesture control to raise the volume, not available at the moment, but that is how you would do it, literally moving your fingers around, answering calls and the like that you can do through that. The screen, this will illuminate when we actually start up the car. So the start stop button is right here in the center. I've got the key in my pocket. Turn it into life just to hear how it sounds and see this display, the digital live cockpit that you have here with the speedometer around the left, wrapping around the outside of the display, and the rev counter doing the same around the right hand side as well. You can see the fuel gauge, we're very low so we can't keep it running for too long, and over at the right side you've got the temperatures as well, also different bits of notification and information as you look around it. But this is actually a new bit of software. I've obviously not seen this in all its glory before now, and the way you can cycle through the different screens and displays and tiles. I like how that's in the exact same color of this very car, but you can imagine you can see all sorts of different things going on through here in the different system. Now this is nice as well, the Gearstick Controller with this glass finish. So you have this stainless steel style trim and the glass finish on top of the gear stick. That is super smart. I hadn't seen that before because it was covered up, but nice with the 8 inside that as well. And you can go through the different driving modes. So you have all sorts of configuration behind this, the different settings, different modes. So if we pop it into sport, or you can go up into individual, or even configure individual and set it exactly how you want it and scroll through all of the different buttons. Even with the adaptive, you can set and adjust just about everything in terms of steering feel, throttle response, the damping from the suspension, the noise of the exhaust system as well. I'm actually slightly concerned about the fuel. It's a display car here, so let's shut it off just for the moment. But you can change all of that and configure it to your heart's desire, really. Have it completely set up exactly how you'd want it. Looking around, the center controls are all positioned slightly facing towards the driver. You've got some storage compartments here. There's a pad there for your phone to charge wirelessly, USB socket just in front front, the cup holders, 12-volt socket as well lurking right there. Above that, you've got your hotkeys to jump between different modes, your air conditioning, climate control, the assistance settings. The car has all sorts of intelligent safety settings that you would not believe. If we just go through and configure these, you can see quite how many things. Front collision warning, side collision warning, lane departure warning. You see the list here. There are loads of different things you can change. It will also park itself with the park assist package, so the car can literally move itself into a parallel or a perpendicular parking bay. Borderless mirror, that's quite nice as well. The lights, we've got used to these from the different BMW models, this kind of texture to the lighting, but all working very, very nicely. So this is cool. This all works very, very nicely. It's a smart interior. It's an introduction of luxury to this sports car, a car that they're saying has some luxury akin to, say, the S-Class, but the driving sporty characteristics of maybe a 911. That's where they're aiming and positioning this. So you can see that when you look at the different textures, the different materials. We've got our memory seats as well going on here. We've got our electric seat controls that we've got down here, with some lumbar control buttons as well going on just in front of them. I'm aware that I'm being quite brisk, just taking a look around this and exploring and discovering it all. Your light toggles and controls, your adaptive cruise controllers on the left side of the steering wheel, but you get a feel for it. There are some elements that are very, very smart. The screen is nice with the design. That's quite unique the way they've done that. This central screen is large, clear and bright. It's a touch screen as well. You can jump through the various different modes, have your tiles set up, your different display screens. This opens up a whole world of magic in terms of how you have it and what you can do with it. And I particularly like that touch as well for the glass cover over the top of the gear shift. It makes it look very, very smart. You've got 360 cameras, so if you load up the camera system, I think you might have to have the engine to run that, but you've got the 360 bird's eye camera view. It's very high quality and clear on other BMW models, so no doubt that's continued through to this one as well. Let's just continue our look around. Firstly, in the armrest, a very big armrest storage, USB and 12-volt sockets again in there. But like I was mentioning about the rear, it's very much 2+2. There is not a huge amount of space back here. You can put your luggage back there should you wish. There's more space for that. You've also got the M texture on the seat belts, as we've seen in other models. From BMW as well, but you'd only fit a very small person in the back for any significant journey unless you move the front seats quite a lot further forward. So that's the first look at the interior of the car. Very special to be able to see it and fire it up and hear the noise from the 4.4 litre V8 that this car is wearing. We can come around and have a quick look, I suppose, in the boot, because this is a practical Grand Tourer, and I can also just quickly show you the key here, the BMW key that we're familiar with. Pop open the boot. Just see in there, just a decent amount of space that you can see, just some storage. It goes back to the folding rear seats, the 50/50 folding rear seats with the power fold tailgate as well that it has, and that shuts back down. I like the way it comes all the way around the outside actually. It gives quite a large back end, but I think that's a particularly smart and progressive future looking back end, which is an important part of the car. That's where it's positioned, this sports car thing that they're really going for with it. But there we really have it, the new BMW M850i, launched by them here at the 2018 24 Hours of Le Mans, alongside the M8 GTE, the race car that's taking part in the GTE class. They return to racing with the M8. They developed the GTE car along with the M8 road car and the M850 along with the 840D, all simultaneously to maximise and optimise everything that can be used. Of course, this has a ginormous rear picnic table on the back of it. It is a race car, the aggression of the diffuser, but you can see the similarities that cross through from this through to the road car that we have over on that side as well. Anyway, it's nearly 20 years since the last 8 Series Coupe went out of production. That was done for 10 years back, finished at the end of the 90s. The 8 came back with the Z8 in 1999 until 2003, but now we have the new 8 Series Coupe, and we've seen hints and the concept of the 8 Series Grand Coupe for the future, so no doubt that will arrive at some point in due course. I hope you've enjoyed this first look though at the new M850i. Thank you very much to BMW for the opportunity to have some time to film it for you this evening, and I'm sure, or I hope at some point in the future I'll have the chance to go out and drive it and see what it's like out on the roads in proper full beyond the pre-drive that I've taken. But do check out that video if you'd like to see a little bit more about what it's like out on the roads at this stage. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers!